guys, so I filmed like this little introduction to this video the other day and it was gorgeous, blazing sunshine. I sat in the conservatory with fresh flowers. I took a video that was like maybe like 15 minutes long and I had the camera faced the other way and I didn't realise it wasn't filming, and so I just talked to myself the entire time. And yeah, so I'm gonna film it again. I basically am just adding a little book update to this video because I had wanted to make a little vlog of my weekend away. I had a couple of plans on and I was like, oh, it'll be so sweet to make a little vlog, but I ended up just taking no videos which is kind of a good thing because I'm quite bad for not having my phone on me, and I was clearly just having so much fun, so I ended up with pretty much only videos of my dogs at my parents' house. So but I'll put the rest in this video because I went home to visit my parents and the dogs, and then I went to hang out with my sister for a bit, and then after that I went through to Glasgow to see my friends because it was my friend Tiernan's like leaving night. He's moving back to Ireland, so we had like a full night out, which was very fun. But Tiernan, if you're watching, miss you. This pigeon is homed on my old bedroom window. He just comes back here every night. This is mine and my sister's bedroom we grew up in sharing. My mum's put these disgusting covers on the bed. But yeah guys, there's just a little pigeon. It's like a dove. I just gave him some CDs. This is why my mum and dad want to catch. Oh wow. He has a little tag on. It's like a tiny seagull. I love pigeons. Oh my god.
Unreal! Boss man. Didn't even shuffle him.
So I thought to make this video a little bit longer since I ended up with only about 6 minutes of footage. I'd give you a book update because I don't think I have done really updated you in a while, and I've kind of been all over the place with my reading. So I think the last time I told you I just finished Young Mungo and There But For The by Ali Smith, and then I just started reading my first book on my Kindle, Elena Knows, by Claudia Pinheiro, and oh my goodness, I think this book is definitely going to be up there for best book I've read this year. It's quite short and I absolutely whizzed through it, and I think that, so I'm not going to say too much about it because I think everyone, like, seriously, if you could just get your hands on it, or in any format, I definitely would. It's set in Argentina, and it's about this mother who has like very severe advanced Parkinson's, and her daughter, who she had a slightly strained relationship with, but her daughter was her primary caregiver, kills herself in a church, and it's sometimes described in some reviews as like a crime detective novel, but I feel like that is not quite accurate. The book is just so much more than that, but essentially the mother goes and she tries to find out what happened because she's convinced that someone has actually murdered her daughter, because the daughter had a phobia of going to church in the rain, and she was found on a stormy night. So it's just incredible. I don't really want to tell you too much more than that. I don't even really want to tell you the topics that it touches on, because I think it's nice. I think I was slightly surprised about how affected I was by it, and I think you should do the same. But yes, I read that, and then I listened to I Who Have Never Known Men, which is quite a popular book, and I thought it was good. I did enjoy it. It's, if you don't already know, it's about basically in a sort of dystopian world. There's 40 women in this bunker. They don't know why they've been put there. They don't know if they're the only ones there. They don't know anything. All the other women are older, so they all had lives before, but the protagonist, or the narrator, if you will, it was a child when she got put into the bunker, so she never lived in the world that the rest of the women used to know, or I mean, they've already started to forget. But essentially one day a massive alarm goes off, and the door to the bunker, the cage, opens, and the women leave the bunker, and they're faced with this empty land, and it's about how far do you go to find others? Like, how far would you walk to find someone else, and like, what are you even looking for? And it's about the women's relationships with each other and growing, and how they grow old together, and what they decide to do, and as the numbers of them dwindle, and but yeah, again, not going to say too much because it is a bit of a journey in the book as well, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't like blown out the world. I feel like a couple of my questions about that were like brought up while I was reading it weren't quite answered. Definitely worth a read and definitely enjoyable though. I can see why it did get a lot of like high praise. What did I read next? I read Foster by Claire Keegan. I think I was reading this when I went through to Glasgow on this weekend actually. This is my second Claire Keegan this year. I read Small Things Like These at the start of the year, which the trailer for the film with Cillian Murphy has just came out and I can't wait to see it. I think it comes out on the 1st of November. So I'm excited for that. But yes, this is Foster, which Small Things Like These is already quite short, but Foster is even shorter. It's almost like a short story, a novella. And it's about this young girl who comes from like a large Irish family with lots of other children. I think she might be the oldest. So she gets sent off to family friends. I don't think they're actually family, but an aunt and uncle essentially. She gets sent off there into a bit more rural Ireland, and she is surprised by the family that she finds there. I have no idea how Claire Keegan does it in such a small space of words. This is crazy. I've never really read an author where I've been like, wow, like this is really quite incredible. But it's moving and it's quiet and it's I cried in the maybe, I think it's only like 8 pages, so yeah, definitely worth a read. Again, it's a short, so you may as well, you can just fly through it. I think I read it in like 2 sittings. Claire Keegan strikes again. God, this, I read so much, I was kind of all over the place. I was kind of waiting just for like August and the start of September to end so I could get onto like some horror books and some scary books. I didn't time things very right, so I had like dry spots. I was like, oh, will I squeeze another one in? I listened to The Maid by Nita Prose, which I'm not going to say too much about because it's fine, whatever. And then I read Penance by Eliza Clark, which was interesting. It's a fiction novel, but it's written like a true crime novel, but the story that we follow, the crime that we follow, is like completely fabricated. I've not really pieced together my thoughts too much on it, but I did enjoy it. And I think that as long as, if I did some more research to find out, I think as long as if the writer was framing it from the point of view of the dangers of like true crime and internet culture, especially within young girls, it's set in the 2010s, like in the Tumblr fandom era, which is scary within itself. And I think as long as like her main purpose was to critique that rather than indulge it, then I think it did a good job. And it was kind of strange to listen to knowing it was fiction, but the horror of it really did actually feel quite real, especially like all the girls' interactions in high school and this how the fallout happened. Kind of scary. So that was Penance. And then transitioning into my scary reads, I then read The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. This is my first book by H.G. Wells. I have both War of the Worlds and The Invisible Man, another Victorian science fiction, and like about the monsters that are created, but it's almost like the scientists are the monsters themselves, and like how their grandiose ideas and plans are really quite deep rooted in The Island of Dr. Moreau, in racism and white supremacy, and just having like a look at what gives us humanity. Finally, I listened to On This Earth We Were Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. So Ocean Vuong is like a poet as far as I understand, and he wrote this novel, but it is written very poetically, like the prose is poetic, and the kind of overarching story you kind of almost piece together yourself. Not like too much, but like you can definitely read sections of of the novel and just sort of take that part as what it is and what it's talking about. I think it would be better if I read it again slowly, and maybe like actually like analyze what I was reading. Vietnamese immigrants moving to America, a boy with his mum and his grandmother after the Vietnam War, which I'm kind of ignorant of the history of that. I don't know too much. I think I probably need to look into that a bit more. My finger is caught in my earring. It's just about the battles that they face once they move to America so soon after the war, and the boy is also struggling with accepting his sexuality, and also it deals a lot with drug abuse, quite a lot about the language barriers and stuff like that, and like how to fit their little family unit into the new life when they, like the older generations, his mum and his grandmother can't speak any English. Something I'll definitely come back to, I think, and take a little bit slower. So that is everything I've read since I last told you, I think. Currently, I'm a bit all over the place. I am reading for my little book club with my friends. I'm reading A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I'm about 50% of the way through it. Maybe a little bit over now because I read quite a lot yesterday. Let's see, 55%. I am enjoying it. So far it's been quite a good book for like the end of summer. It's kind of got that feel of like the transition, but it's about this little girl Francie growing up in Brooklyn in the early 1920s. It's been going well so far. I think it's very slow. I was speaking to Kat, one of my friends who's reading it as well, and she's not really sure whether she's enjoying it. I think she's about way through as I, and it is kind of long. It's like maybe like 550 pages, and it really is quite a slow burner, so I can kind of see why it's like a little bit harder to enjoy, but going well so far. A book called Tongueless, which was just a random horror, slow horror, that came up on my library app. This is what the cover looks like, and it is set in Hong Kong, and it is about teachers there who, during the transition, again, I'm not very good at history, so I don't really know too much, but when a lot of the mainland Chinese moved to Hong Kong, and then the language changed from I'm gonna say Cantonese to Mandarin, which are both forms of Chinese, and it's about these Chinese teachers during that transition, and kind of like just how much trouble internal trouble it caused a lot of them with their identity, and also just like the pressure on them to decide where they stood with it. I am enjoying it. I'm about 70% of the way through that, and I just stopped reading it because I wanted to start A Tree Grows in Brooklyn so that I wouldn't fall behind on my book club, but I will finish it. It is kind of a slow horror. I would say it's been like a little bit too slow too far. I would have liked a little bit more intrigue, but it's okay. I will finish it. So that is and because I was away this weekend visiting friends for a birthday party this weekend, and I needed something to listen to in the car, and I don't have the audiobook for A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, so I just started listening to Mythos by Stephen Fry because something piqued my interest about Greek mythology the other day, and I just needed something lighthearted to listen to in the car, so I just started listening to that. I do have the physical copy as well, so I've kind of been flicking between the two, but it's not something I'm going to like prioritize. But I hate not listening to things in the car. And then last night, because I was a bit bummed because I was like, oh, I've been waiting all this time to start all my horrors and all this autumn, and because it's been so misty and cold these last few days, I was like, oh, I'm like missing my opportunity. So I picked up last night The Woman in Black by Susan Hill, just to get the ball rolling, so I don't feel like I've missed another dark month period where it's best to read these. So I started this last night, and yeah, maybe, I don't know, 20-30 pages in, and enjoying it so far. I've never seen the film horror movies, like the film, or what I perceive the film will be, is not really my go-to horror. Like, what I enjoy and what I find like deeply terrifying, and I'm sorry to all my friends because I talk about this all the time, but I find the uncanny and like just the one glitch wrong so scary, so scary, rather than supernatural. Like, I'm not hugely into, well, I really don't like jump scare movies. Like blockbuster scary movies are not really my thing, but the uncanny is just, oh my goodness, I find it so scary, and it's what I constantly dream about, and it's terrifying. Yeah, never much supernatural, but the film, when it came out, I kind of always imagined it being kind of a jump scary one, like the way people talked about it. But I think the book is going to be a little bit more up my street, where it's like, it's not like a definitive ghost, it's like, it's more like a psychological thing. So yes, that's what I like. But yeah, I think that's it. This is another 20 minutes, so hopefully this saves, otherwise you'll be getting no video because I don't think I can talk this much again. But okay, I hope you enjoyed the footage of me with my friends. I might disperse this into the video actually, so you don't have to look at me and miss all the good stuff. Okay, bye.